Hey everybody, my name is Jesse Ferrara. I am the founder of Monkey Train Entertainment, and I'm here with longtime collaborator Patrick Montanaro.
I'm really excited to be here. I have a lot of questions for you.
Thanks. Yeah, we are going to be talking about our newest project, Power Rangers Uprising.
So one of the things that got me about this project was, as I was reading through the notes that you have on Kickstarter, is that there's a lot of really cool, unique things. Like, it takes place 15 years after the defeat of the Power Rangers, which, what an interesting place to start a story.
Yep.
But I was wondering, aside from that, what sets your story apart from all the other fan films that are out there?
Yeah, that's a great question, and there's a lot of great fan films out there right now. And I think the biggest trap we all fall into, myself included, is that when you make a fan film, especially about something like the Power Rangers, you want to jump into the action, the excitement, the powers, the costumes, and that's super fun.
Yeah.
But what makes the story a little bit different is that the Power Rangers have been defeated, and there are no Power Rangers. And it really takes it to the human experience and to the human level, that it's about facing your past and your failures and what that looks like to overcome it in order to defeat evil. Now, all that being said, there will be costumes and powers and morphs and fights. So,
Nice.
Yeah.
Good. But it sounds good. It sounds like it's a good balance of both an intimate story of what it means to reflect on your failures, like you said, but also the stuff that we all like about Power Rangers, which is like just cool martial arts action. And just good fights.
Yeah, and that's one of the things, we're working with some of the best costume makers out there. There's a lot of great costume makers, and we've had a few that we've been in contact with for a while now, when it comes to armor, whether it's, the Power Ranger armor, the villain armor.
Awesome.
We have some unique pieces coming from there, some new interpretations. If it comes to the Power Ranger suits, the helmets, they're very original, and not to say it's going to be something you don't recognize. You're instantly going to recognize it, but it's got its own little flair, gives a little edge to it that'll separate it from what we've seen before.
That's really cool. And it sounded like we were talking off camera, but it sounds like you'll be able to announce who you're working with as soon as you get the funding for this project.
Yes. Yeah. So we're keeping that close for now, but once we hit funding, we're going to take the next step in the process. So as of today, as you know, we have the script written. We're currently going through rewrites and edits, but the story is locked. So once funding hits, we will go ahead and start the casting process, and then from there we are going to order the costumes. Now, we're going to hold on to who we're ordering from until we get to that point, but we've already been in communication with them. We have the pricing, the lead times, all that plotted out, which we used, of course, to make our budget for this Kickstarter.
Well, that's really exciting. It sounds like there's a lot of excitement and a lot of people who really want to get involved with this project. Yeah. So now I'm going to ask you some of the tougher questions. Ooh. Are you ready? Here we go. We're going to threat level repulsa here. One of the things that we had talked about was that the story, as I was reading through it sounds pretty intense. I mean, there's it's about facing your failures, facing your past, and again, ultimately, the Power Rangers have been disbanded. They've lost to their greatest enemy. What's the tone going to be? Is it going to stay grim through the whole thing? What are you working with there?
Yeah, that's a great question. So with the tone of itself, I want it to be something more mature, that fans who grew up with the Power Rangers, like ourselves, who are now in our mid-30s or later, are invested in and will enjoy watching. But I do want to clarify, because I think the terms mature, dark, gritty, they get thrown out a lot when you're talking about fan films. And usually what that means is like excessive swearing, excessive gore, nudity, death, all this crazy stuff. That's not what we're going for here. There will be stakes, right? People will die. People have died. There was a war. But I want to make a film that feels real and is serious. Will also have its moments of nostalgia and lightheartedness and, of course, action, but really walks that fine line of enjoyable for all ages, but also takes itself serious enough that it's a little bit more grounded. And honestly, I think it's a hard line to walk. Yeah. I think a great example that we're taking a lot of inspiration from is the 1990 Ninja Turtles movie. If you watch that movie, it's lit beautifully. The camera work is great. It takes itself serious. Shredder, the Foot, they're very serious. But the Turtles are goofy, right? They're the Turtles we know and love, but it strikes that balance perfectly.
Yeah. Everybody loves that movie. If you haven't seen it, not to co-promote something, but that is an awesome movie, so you should see that too. So I've known you for a very long time, and I know that this last year has been really busy for you. Not only have you been doing your own film projects, not only have you been starting this, but you also started Monkey Train Entertainment. And I'm just curious, just as a fellow creative and creator, how do you stay motivated? What inspires you to make these projects?
Yeah, I think a big piece of it is just I've always wanted to make films, right? That was my goal as a kid. That I wanted to be an actor. I wanted to make movies. I went to school for film. I've been in film for the last 15 years. And recently, over this last year, I've been lucky enough to meet the majority of the original cast from season 1, season 2 of Power Rangers. It was probably 13, 14 years ago at this point. I was able to meet Jason David Frank, luckily enough, before his passing. So it just meeting the original cast and going to events like Power Morphicon. I was lucky enough again to go this last August, and seeing the fans and their commitment and how much they love Power Rangers. That energy just fed right into me, and it's just, I want to make something that these fans can enjoy, that they can continue to enjoy, with at the age they're at now, and with, again, the younger generation, their kids, that they can pass on.
So, my final question to you then is, what do you want any potential donors or people who have already donated to your project, what do you want them to know about this project?
That wasn't...
Aha! I threw, that's what we call a curveball.
Let me finish this glass. No, I think what I want people to know is that this project, and I already stated this, but it really, my hope is that it feels different than what you've seen before. I want you to go in and watch this movie and leave feeling something, right? And learning something about the human experience. It's not just going to be action and martial arts, which there will be, but there's really a strong character backing to this. And, depending on what we raise on on Kickstarter for the fundraiser, will really determine the length of this project. So our main goal is the $1,200 on Kickstarter, which brings our total to $5,000. That is going to let us launch our initial film here, a short film. In the grand scheme of things, if we don't hit any more of those stretch goals, that's totally fine. Like, the goal is to hit the 1,200. This will be part 1 of a series. If we go more, then of course we'll film more. But as the series continues, I really just want to keep expanding that personal story. When, in this first section, it's a lot about that personal experience and overcoming your failures. But the greater theme of friendship and teamwork, which, really shines through Power Rangers. And the whole point here is just working with your friends and leaning on each other.
That's awesome. I mean, it sounds like a really cool project. It sounds like you already got a pretty good backing so far. So hopefully, if anybody watching this is super interested, check it out. Donate. These projects are only possible because of donations from people like you. So fellow Power Rangers fans, check it out. Kickstarter and Power Rangers Uprising.
Yeah. Please check it out. There's a link. If you go into the link tree in my profile, you'll be able to go right to our Kickstarter, read about it there. There's a lot of great rewards. If you feel like donating, and of course, if you can donate, we appreciate it so much. If you can't, please share, friends, family, everybody. We want to just spread the word and get this film produced.
Yeah, minimum donations are $30,000, right?
That's it.
Yep,
That's
absolutely.
baby.
Yeah, all right, let's get that. The next time we do an interview, I'm going to be wearing a big crown,
Gold chain,
a big gold chain, a big ring. Yeah,
we mismanaged our budget.
Well, that regardless of any of that, any fraud or anything that we may or may not be guilty of, it sounds like a really cool project. And
this isn't getting back.
Yeah, this is exactly. But it does sound like a really cool project, and somebody who's just like a fan of like all things nerdy, like Power Rangers. Like, we've worked on Batman projects in the past, all that stuff. It's really cool, and it's exciting to see where the project could go.
Yeah, I mean, and for those of you that haven't seen, check out our YouTube. We have our last short that we made, Batman the Golden Mask. Very short, simple film, just to kind of play around and test some things. But it's a fun film, and that's just a very small taste of what's to come if this gets funded.
We talk about gold a lot. Our gold chain, the golden mask.
We know what motivates us, baby.
It's subliminal, guys. Gold. Well, that's really cool. Is there anything else you would like to leave your backers with, or potential backers with? You just die.
Nope, that's it, baby. Yeah, no, I think that it's just super excited about the project. Continue to follow us on Instagram. We will have more posts coming soon with some more concept art. One of the things like we talked about, once funded, we'll go into casting. So there'll be a casting announcement once we're funded. We'll start the search there. So Instagram will also be where you'll see a lot of the reveals as we get the props, as we get the costumes, some of the unboxings, and so those first looks. So yeah, follow and share.
Yeah. Yeah, and if you donate, Jesse will get some new clothes. He'll sleep in the
This
armor.
is my only shirt.
Well, it looks great.
Thank you.
All right.
All right. Well, thanks for taking the time to stop by, drink my whiskey. You finished off a bottle.
Is that just one bottle? Because it feels the headache I have right now feels like a few more than
You're
that.
not invited back.
Can I sleep in that chair right there?
All right. Well, thank you all for watching, and hopefully we'll be bringing this film to you in the near future.
Cheers.
Cheers.